So my white, I'm still missing 2 yellow, but my white LEDs showed up today, so I was able to put the reverse backup lights in. And these are supposed to be here Saturday, but we got enough to wire up turn signals. We just won't have the hazards, or we'll wire this one up hazards and not have all the turn signals wired. But good news is we got the white lights for the reverse to be wired up. All right, I got the 2-aught power wire pulled. You know, it's going to come to the battery and then connected to the 1-aught one. And this 4-gauge one's going to go just for the control side of that, so this is overkill for the starter solenoid out there. So I'm going to wrap it now with the vulcanized rubber and then the vinyl rubber, and then I'm going to tuck it back in there. And I want to be able to pull it out, and if you need to service it, you can pull it out and work on it, so it'll be tucked back in there and hidden. But we're going to wrap it up so it doesn't wear. Alright, I got it wrapped with that vulcanized rubber. It puts a really high resistance coating on there. Now I'm going to wrap it with just regular vinyl. Alright, so now I got it wrapped with the vinyl. Now I'm going to put a sleeve over that area right there. Alright, so now the sleeve's on. That nut, sometimes the bolt is really, you know, it can rub through. So that's what the sleeve's for, basically, that bolt right here. So if it's up against the wall or whatever, it's going to be really hard for it to short out. But we're going to have a short circuit protection too. Alright, I got it tucked back in there and hooked up to the solenoid. And then I put clamps down, holding it all the way back through that rubber grommet. So I'm gonna do the negative one and hook it up to that post that I got right there, and get the negative ran back out of this area, and then I'm gonna just wire tie it to this one with these clamps, and then I'll be working in the trunk. Alright, so I got that 2-aught cable hooked up, and it's wire tied everywhere there was a mount. It goes back through the grommet with the other one. So now I'm in the trunk. We got the ground ran all the way up to here. So we're going to go in the trunk and start working on the trunk now. Alright, I'm starting to clamp those down back from where I ran it out the grommet on the firewall. And I've welded a stud here, but I gotta let it dry. I'm gonna put a little orange paint on it when it actually cools down, and then I'll shoot some paint and let it dry. But anyway, I got this 200 amp circuit breaker, and this is gonna protect me against any dead shorts. You know, that cable's rated at like 195 on the best day. Really, it's a 175 amp cable. And the 1-aught's like 150. So this is, if I get a dead short, it'll protect this battery and hopefully keep the car from burning down. So I got a 200 amp circuit breaker. You press this button, it opens, and you close it. So I can actually, you know, keep anybody that doesn't know about this from being able to do anything with the car just by opening that up. So we want to try to get this as close as we can to the battery while I'm waiting for that to cool down. So I'm thinking about mounting it right in here somewhere, really close to that terminal point. Then I got to go over there and pick up that disconnect switch. So I'm thinking about sheet metal screwing it down here and then making my cable to go to it. So I'm going to get it mounted there now. Alright, so how I do this is I put the lug on, and then I put the wire the way that I want it, and I mark where the cut would be, and then I also mark where the cut, you know, where you pull the sheath back. So that's how I'll get this to like be in perfect length when I crimp it. So it's all laid out, and that lug is laid there, and then I marked it out on those 2 locations on it. So just a really good pair of the Chinese ones you buy Harbor Freight don't work. Like, you got to spend the money to buy the Klein cutters, but once you get them, you can just snip it off real easy. it's stripped back and then put in this big cable crimper and crimped. And then I'll pull that heat shrink back over it and heat shrink it. Okay, I got the ground cable all the way done, and it's left long in case someday I get a different battery configuration. And then I added a ground in case we get some static electricity. It goes all the way over and is grounded. So hopefully it doesn't combust on you. If static electricity happens, it's able to ground out. So we're going to move on to the positive side now. So it's got to come up, be landed, bent, and then go to that side of the switch. Alright, so I got the power all anchored. Comes up to that disconnect switch. Comes over that 200 amp circuit breaker for dead shorts. And then I got plenty of space if the battery gets swapped around or I have to use a different battery or whatever. So that's basically everything I wanted to get done today. I got the ground ran over to the fuel tank there. So the battery's in. We're looking real good. I've tested it. I got voltage out to the alternator, the farthest point, and when I turn the disconnect off, it kills it. So the disconnect switch is working, and we're looking really good. So if you like this kind of stuff, check back in.